Welcome to mini lesson 9.4, animation made easy. This is a quick little mini lesson that's going to show you how to make a very simple animation with pre-drawn sprites from the Scratch library. I don't like this lesson, and I don't like it because it makes me realize what a horrible artist I am. However, the good news is there's lots of cool sprite sheets out there and other things that you can find on the internet that you can incorporate into your programs. And with some of the skills that we show you here in the Scratchzilla curriculum, you'll be easily able to take those different animation images and put them together and make some really cool games. So some of the highlights of this, well, you know what, let's look at the program first. Let's go over here, and we have our Scratch character here. Let's call him boy number 3. There's nothing on the stage. I click on the play button, and you'll notice that the sprite is walking. Over here, real simple script for the sprite. We have a forever loop. We tell it to switch costumes. Then we tell it to wait 0.1 seconds. The 0.1 second wait time allows you to actually see what's going on. If I change this to, say, a lower number like 0.01 and click on play, you'll notice that the walking motion's very fast. And more importantly, if I just pull it out and click on play, you can see that it's just as quick as that. Now sometimes if you don't have a wait block inside your program and you're trying to animate, you might have a situation where you don't see any animation. That's because it's going so fast, it's just reverting back to its original image, and there's some sort of magic taking place in the computer where it doesn't even get the ability to redraw the image on the screen. Instead, it just keeps going back over and over again because it's essentially resetting itself so fast that it never gets a chance to put it up on the screen. Okay, so that's the animation made easy. Let's go back to our presentation here. So we're going to look at these learning objectives. We're going to learn how to change the sprite's costumes. We're going to use the wait command to slow down the computer, and then the use of animation frames to make sprites appear. Nothing super complex if you have the artwork. First, animation is the art of taking a collection of pictures and arranging them in a sequence that makes it appear to move when a computer or movie displays the picture quickly in an organized sequence. This is something that's still very much alive and used today in our modern day cinema, and whenever you're playing with like two-dimensional graphics and stuff. So we see a lot of animation using these simple skills where we just take all these different little pictures and string them together in a sequence, and if you play it at the right speed, it makes the actual picture to appear to be moving across the screen or something. We're going to use the next costume to switch through our costumes for the sprite. I got all these images off of the Scratch library. I didn't create any of these, which is why they look kind of good, I guess. One thing about the next costume, it just cycles through the costume numbers. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or excuse me, there's no 6, but it goes to 5. Once it gets to 5, it'll start back over to number 1. There's another tool called the switch costume, and this block is really good if we want to switch to some specific costumes. I use this quite a bit, especially if I have a sprite that has multiple complex animations and I need to specify which exact costumes we'll be using. The next costume just goes through the complete list of all the different costumes for a sprite. So it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish on which tool to use. In our case, we want to use the next costume because this sprite doesn't have very complex animations. It's only doing one thing, so we can just go through that whole sequence. And let's see what else is on here. Oh, my computer's locking up. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up for that little introduction to the lesson. When you get your file open, which is called Animation Made Easy, you'll have a stage with nothing inside of it except some backdrops. And then you'll have your sprite over here, which has these different costumes associated with it to create the animation. All right, that's all there is to it for this mini lesson, and we'll see you in the next one.